So Daniel, you're in the office for a meeting. Is there some fight news coming soon?
Yeah, big news announcing soon. So I'll let these guys talk about it, but I'm gonna be well up for it.
Good. Right, let's go. Good. Let's go.
Drug is a disgrace to the sport of boxing. I don't know how or why he's got this shot. Don't think he deserves it. Hasn't beaten anybody of any note. Loses all of the big fights.
Daniel Dubois shocks the boxing world with a huge fight announcement, sending ripples across the heavyweight division. But let's be real, talk is cheap. Against Usyk, Dubois folded when it mattered most. Now he promises redemption, but promises don't win fights. Only grit, heart, and flawless execution will decide if this comeback is the real deal or just more empty noise.
So Daniel, you're in the office for a meeting. Is there some fight news coming soon?
Yeah, big news announcing soon. So I'll let these guys talk about it, but I'm gonna be well up for it and coming back.
Frank and Sam were excited for Daniel's return.
I'm more excited by his t-shirt.
Yeah.
Big news. It's going to be a tough fight, good fight, quality fight. Everybody's going to love it when they hear it. It's a big fight.
Yeah.
Daniel, you're excited?
No, I'm 100% ready to go.
Dubois insists this time will be totally different, but fans haven't forgotten his past. Against Usyk, he folded. And let's not forget the Parker pullout. All that talk, only to step away when it mattered most. He says he trusts himself more now as a fighter, but history shows a pattern of excuses instead of execution. Until Dubois proves it inside the ring, his words are nothing more than recycled promises.
I'm pissed off as well, but shit happens and it's one of them things.
Suspicious. We're talking about the Usyk fight already. Do you have a response to Team Parker, Daniel?
Yeah, that was none of my plans. My plan was to go out there and stop his fight at Parker. Go through him. So, there was no plan behind this. This just happened. And if he wants proof and everything, go and ask the border control doctor that came and saw me. But everyone talking, I just want to silence all of that. I'm just ready to go now. I want to fight everyone.
And Johnny Nelson, never one to sugarcoat, fires back at Dubois' comeback talk. Nelson draws a clear line between real fighters and pretenders. Elite heavyweights live in that unforgiving zone, but Dubois too often looks uncertain, like he doesn't belong there. Fans remember the Parker pullout and the collapse against Usyk, until he proves otherwise in the ring. Dubois' mentality is still miles away from championship steel.
He's in a room with civilians, with people that are not getting in the ring, are not putting their life on the line to totally get smashed to get it wrong. They're living in make-believe land. He's the one that's getting in there to do the job. You have to take yourself away from that and put yourself on another level of existence. You've got to do that. And fighters will understand what I'm saying.
Johnny Nelson questions Dubois' backbone, hinting that outside pressures and even family control keep holding him back. And at the elite level, that weakness gets exposed brutally. Against Parker, he ducked out. Against Usyk, he broke down. Until Dubois takes full ownership of his career, he'll always fall short of true greatness.
So far, but when you get to elite level, you can't get away with it. I don't think Daniel has the capability, strength in regards to talking to his dad or standing up to his dad or standing up to that setup. I don't think he has the strength to do that, and which is why it will always hold him back. You got to look. This is personal business, so I don't know the ins and outs of it. Caroline, she, as far as I know, she doesn't work with her dad. There must be a reason for.
And even Frank Warren admits, Dubois still has plenty to learn if he wants to come back stronger. Warren tries to give him hope, comparing him to Frank Bruno, but the reality is, Dubois isn't Bruno. At 27, he's already quit on the biggest stage and pulled out against Parker, because lessons only matter if you've got the heart to apply them.
I thought up until that round, I thought it was a pretty good fight to watch. And Daniel's obviously very disappointed. He's in the dressing room at the moment, and if he's going to come back, he's got to learn from it. He's only 27 years of age. I look back at, Frank Bruno, for example. 3 times he fought for the world title, and he got it in the fourth attempt. And Daniel, he's won a world title. So hope.
Tony Bellew cuts right to the core. Daniel Dubois is a fighter who simply doesn't fancy it when the going gets rough. Against Usyk, one body shot was all it took, and Dubois looked empty. No ideas, no answers, and worst of all, no desire. That's the brutal truth. World-level heavyweights cannot afford to switch off, not for a second. Usyk thrives in the chaos, raising his game when the fire burns hottest. Dubois has shown the opposite, shrinking the moment the challenge gets real. Bellew exposes what fans already sensed. Dubois doesn't want to fight through adversity, he wants the easy route. And in boxing, that mindset gets punished. Unless Dubois finds true grit, every so-called comeback will end the same way, under pressure, out of answers, and out of heart.
Guys, he landed one decent body shot the whole fight, to which Usyk tapped his belly and just said, "What was that?" And then there was zero else coming back, and that's in my opinion, that's the attitude and that's the mentality of a guy that when the going gets tough, he doesn't want to fight, and he never changed that.
Carl Froch reminds everyone, boxing isn't a game, it's a war zone. You step through those ropes ready for damage, ready to give and take in equal measure. That's what separates warriors from pretenders. And here's the problem for Dubois. Too often, he looks like a man playing at boxing rather than living it. Froch's words hit hardest when you remember Dubois bowing out against Usyk, not with courage, but in quiet surrender. Compare that to Usyk, calm, composed, fearless in the fire. Froch is right, this is the hurt business, where men risk it all. Usyk shows the mentality of a true warrior every single time, while Dubois carries the weight of doubt. You can't fake fight mode, you either have it or you don't. So far, Dubois has proven he doesn't.
Socialise, you're not in party mode, you're in fight mode. You're in, I could be walking to a certain death mode here. This is the hurt game. This is a dangerous, hard sport where people get seriously injured in there. And when you're fighting, you want to be in the mode of fight mode. Let's go, I'm going to battle, I'm going to war, I'm a fucking warrior. I'm going in there to do some damage and potentially getting some damage done to me.
Dubois' words sound fiery, but fans have heard this song before. He claims he's back and wants to fight everyone, yet history tells a different story. When the pressure mounted, he quit against Usyk. When Joseph Parker loomed, he pulled out. Talk of silencing critics rings hollow without action. Real fighters don't just demand respect, they earn it under fire. Usyk has proven time and again that he thrives when the lights burn brightest, while Dubois has shown the opposite. This isn't about being pissed off, it's about having the courage to stand tall when the storm hits. Dubois is yet to show that heart. Until he proves it inside the ropes, his words are nothing but empty echoes. Fans want action, not promises. And against true elite competition, saying I want to fight everyone isn't ambition, it's delusion.
Got on my radar, I want to put someone to sleep again and get back out there and show the people that, you know, I am the man, I'm ready to go, I'm ready for everyone.
And even Shane Mosley admitted, Usyk simply had too much for Dubois to ever cope with. Mosley, a man who knows what greatness looks like, spells it out clearly. Usyk is on another level. Too much mental strength, too much experience, too much class. Dubois may have entered with the right mindsets, but mindset alone can't bridge a gulf of this size. Against Usyk, he was overwhelmed, not just physically, but mentally, unable to navigate the storm. Mosley even notes that a smaller Usyk might have given Dubois hope, but the truth is, size isn't the difference. Heart is. Usyk has it in abundance. Dubois consistently shows he doesn't. That's why it was always over before the first bell. Elite fighters like Usyk grow stronger under pressure. Dubois shrinks. Mosley confirms what fans already knew. Dubois wasn't beaten by circumstance. He was beaten by a superior fighter in every way.
No, I think Daniel was in the right mindset. I mean, I just think that Usyk had too much for him, like too much mental, too much experience, too much. He had too much for him. There was nothing he could do about that. If it was a smaller Usyk like it was when he fought the first time, maybe Dubois had a good chance. But now that Usyk's bigger and stronger, he already has this. So it's a wrap. It's a wrap for the heavyweight division now.
Dave Allen doesn't sugarcoat it. He calls it exactly how fans saw it. Dubois may have beaten the count, but his body language told the real story. He walked away, choosing not to continue. That's quitting. Allen even puts him at the head of the quit committee against Usyk, a fighter defined by relentless spirit and mental fortitude. Dubois showed none of it. This wasn't about being knocked unconscious or overpowered. It was about a man who decided he'd had enough, and in boxing, that's the worst label you can carry. Usyk, meanwhile, displayed everything Dubois lacked: courage, grit, and an unbreakable will. Fans don't forget moments like this. They're etched into a fighter's legacy. Dubois can attempt all the comebacks he wants, but once you quit on the biggest stage, the stain never fades. Allen's words are harsh, but they're undeniable truth.
Got up at the count of 10, and he walked straight past Usyk, straight to the corner. He was completely fine. I think, and you know what, it's horrific to say I've quit. It's not horrific to say I'm a quitter. I'm chairman of the quit committee. I'm top quitter, I guess. Anyway, he quit, yeah, he did.
David Adelaide sums up perfectly what separates champions from challengers. Dubois came in overthinking, hesitant, giving Usyk precious time to settle. And when a fighter like Usyk establishes his jab in the first 30 seconds, the battle is already lost. That's elite control, taking command early, dictating the rhythm, never letting the opponent breathe. Dubois, instead of imposing himself, gave ground mentally before he even did physically. Adelaide's breakdown exposes the gulf in levels. Usyk doesn't just outfight opponents, he outthinks them, outmaneuvers them, and dismantles them methodically. Dubois had no answers because he never seized the initiative. In heavyweight boxing, hesitation is fatal, and Dubois was stuck in that gear all night. Adelaide is right, the jab told the story. Usyk showed class from second one, Dubois showed doubt, and in this sport, once doubt creeps in, the fight is already over.
That assessment? Daniel was thinking too much. There's times when I could see Daniel being a bit hesitant. He was sitting there thinking. He did let his right hand go and he did throw a lot of shots, but I think sometimes when you overthink it, you give Usyk too much time. And when you give Usyk time, you kind of let him play at his own sort of pace. Usyk established the jab from like the first 30 seconds, which was, you know, look, like it just shows his level, right?
Was it surprising to you how early the start?
Dominic Ingles' Viking analogy is brutal but painfully fitting. He compares Dubois' mentality to warriors who dulled their senses before battle, only to march straight into certain death. It's a damning assessment of a fighter who should be sharpening instincts, not dulling them. Ingles suggests Dubois enters fights without the clarity, focus, and edge true champions possess, and that explains everything against Usyk. He wasn't mentally switched on, he was already halfway beaten before the real battle even began. Elite boxing is do or die. Either you impose your will or you get steamrolled. Usyk thrives in that crucible, sharpening his weapons while Dubois numbs himself to reality. Ingles' words cut deep because they expose a pattern. It's not the first time he's seen Dubois falter, and that's what makes the criticism sting. This isn't bad luck, it's bad mentality. You can't conquer a division with a Viking hangover mindset. You need the composure and steel of a general, and Dubois simply doesn't have it.